Okay, get this. What if I told you that you could hold the entire blueprint for a universe in a piece of data smaller than a text message? I know, it sounds like something straight out of sci-fi, right? But today, that's exactly what we're digging into. How a tiny 64-bit key can actually generate its own unique, complex reality.
So yeah, that's really the big question we're going to try to get our heads around. How in the world can something so small, just 64 bits, hold all the instructions for something so vast and, so intricate? It's a wild concept for sure. So let's break down exactly how this thing works, step by step.
All right, let's jump right in. It all starts with this core concept, something the source material calls the master seed. And really, this is the starting point for, well, for everything else. So, the best way to think about this master seed is not just as some random number. No, it's more like the digital DNA for an entire simulated system. I mean, every single instruction, we're talking the laws of physics for this little universe, is packed right inside this one super elegant 64-bit key. Okay, so we've got the DNA, but how does that code actually get, read and turned into a living, breathing system? Let's look at the actual creation process and see how this thing builds from just a simple key into a really dynamic pattern. And you know what? It's a really straightforward four-step process. First up, the program loads that 64-bit key. Simple enough. Then it immediately unpacks all that data. It uses those bits to instantly set all the rules of the simulation. And from those rules, bam, a completely unique and complex pattern just springs into existence. It's so simple, but man, is it powerful. All right, now this is where things get really, really cool. That key, it's not just some simple on-off switch. It's a highly detailed blueprint. It's literally dictating the fundamental physics that are going to govern this whole simulated space. And what's so brilliant about this is just how efficient the whole system is. I mean, there is zero wasted space. Every single bit, every little field inside that key has a very specific job to do. It's a direct one-to-one mapping from an instruction to an outcome. So this table here really breaks down that blueprint for us. You can see exactly how these different parameters control actual physical properties. For instance, you've got the payload scalar. That one handles mass and amplitude. Then there's the spin ID, which, you guessed it, controls how fast the node wraps. And check this out. Even a single parity bit can completely flip the spin direction, introducing this idea of duality. Then you get these other terms like quaternions, which the source material explains is what defines the pattern's shell spacing and its overall geometry. It's a whole set of physical laws, all in one neat little package. So, okay, we've loaded the key, we've set the physics, but what do we actually get at the end of all this? What does it create? Well, the final result is something the source calls a unique signature. And here is the picture you should have in your head. From that simple little string of bits, this incredibly complex geometric pattern just emerges. The source material says it wraps and spins around a central point of mass, and you can almost visualize it like a galactic accretion disk. It's like a universe in miniature, born from nothing but data. This source material really puts it perfectly. It says that each node will have its own unique waveform, and that acts as the packet's unique signature. So what that means is each key doesn't just create some static image, right? It generates a unique waveform, and that waveform becomes its unmistakable fingerprint, its signature. So here's the really crucial part. This unique signature is the specific pattern that's generated from one and only one key. And because it's a direct result of that input, it's 100% repeatable. You could plug in the same key 1,000 times, and guess what? You're going to get the exact same signature 1,000 times. No variation. Ever. Look, this is all incredibly cool from a tech perspective, but you might be asking, so what? Why does this actually matter? What's the practical application here? Well, the answer really lies in the power of proof. See, this direct, unforgeable link between a key and its results, that's the foundation for some really powerful real-world systems. The big one here is the creation of what are called proof of simulation keys. So imagine a super complex scientific model, or maybe a procedurally generated world in a video game. With this system, you could prove, without a shadow of a doubt, that a specific simulation was run with specific parameters, just by showing its unique signature. It's basically a digital fingerprint for a virtual reality, a verifiable source of truth for really complex data. And that brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with.
We've just walked through how a simple, structured 64-bit key can generate this vast, unique, and complex pattern that's governed by its own laws of physics. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it, if such a small set of instructions can create such beautiful, mind-boggling complexity? What could that imply about all the intricate patterns we see all around us in our own universe?